Echo here again. Welcome back to Feed the Beast Direwolf 1.7.10. I'm still outside, just having a look at the wall here, and I've got some stuff to do there still, haven't I? I said I was going to make some Essentia tubes from Foundcraft and put like drain pipes and stuff using them. I shall get on with that. I just realised it when I stood out here. Right, I have been a busy bee, and I've got a lot of stuff to get on with and a lot of stuff to do. First of all, let's have a look at me. I decided to wear this for a while. This is the Flux armour that I've had it sat on a armour stand for ages. Since I'm using the Flux weapons, the Flux tools, I decided I might as well use the Flux sword and the Flux armour as well. This stuff's actually pretty strong. It's all the damage is absorbed by the power. So I went and just had a little bit of a to-do with some stuff in the nether, and I took no damage at all, no heart damage at all, because this just takes all the damage. So it seems very, unless you fight something that can drain all the damage out of you, I reckon you should be pretty safe with this stuff. And it's just, I went sat there. I think early in the series I said that I had no spare armour, and that's just sat on an armour stand doing nothing. Right, coming to here, check this out. I did not know about this at all. Now this is someone called Sam on the Resident Rise server asked how you make the grandfather clock, and I had no idea it existed. Turns out what you do is you make two of the little clocks, little secret things in Bibliocraft. I like it. Make two of the little clocks like that, and then if you make this thing called a hand drill, and oops, first clock selected, second clock selected. Look at that, I've been back into two clocks again. So shift right click, and you can connect two clocks together to make a nice grandfather clock. How nice is that? Bibliocraft, lovely mod. I am going to put it to, yep, and that'll chime every so many hours. Cool. So that's one little thing I've done. Another thing I have got on with is I have done all the lifts. They're all completed. They're all got 3 speed upgrades in. They've all got the return back down to the ground floor, and they're all finished. So that's it. Now, if I look back on an earlier episode, I think I had about 17,000 iron. If I check my iron stock now, I'm down to like under 2,000. So it looks like making all them elevators has possibly taken about 15,000 iron. You know, make it into compressed and stuff. So that is very expensive. The making a lot of lifts like this. I have got 6 big lifts, and they're all multi-block. So yes, I've gone a bit big style with it. Now, just before you might have seen something on the wall there. Here's a to-do list, of course, that we've been using. That's all I've got left on there. So I've done elevator control. I've done elevator expansion. They're both done, so they can come off. Room network is ongoing, but I've actually made the room and got the network up. Ongoing factory build, of course, that's ongoing. Machinery automation, that's ongoing. I've got quite a bit of that done. I'm going to show you some of that. And then there's them 3 things there that are not done yet. But that's the end of that clipboard to-do list. We've got a new to-do list. I decided to make a to-do list using the advanced panels. There we go. We have got a new to-do list, and that's what we're working towards. So we've got demon invasion in a tier 6 blood altar. That's the stuff I've been doing the blood magic up there, working towards. The machinery automation, that's ongoing. I've got quite a bit of it done actually. Animal farms, Ender IO mob farms, plant and tree farms. That's the 3 floors up in the tech side of the factory. Yeah, well, 2 floors. Floors 4 and 5 are going to be. One's going to be full of animal farms. Not that I need them. And one's going to be. I'm going to go big style with the Ender IO mob farms, just because I've got a lot of power and they're quite power hungry. So I'm going to make some mob farms, upgrade them. You may hear a ghast. I'll show you why in just a second. And then plant and tree farms. There. So that's the 3 floors. So first floor is material. Second floor is mod stuff. 3, 4, 5. 3 floors. Yeah. So that's what them 3 floors are going to be. Plant and tree farms. I need a tree farm. I'm getting really low on wood. And then universal sensor. I don't know if I'll get to that, but I might do all them doors so they trigger off universal sensors. And factory employees as an emerald source. I don't really need that. And factory building ongoing. And of course laser drills should be on there as well, because that's going to be my way of getting resources. I may have to start quarrying again, but I think I'm in a position where my materials systems can handle it. So I guess we'll pop into there next. I believe I said pop. How camp's that? So this can handle stuff certainly, and this can as well. So that's smelting and that's sag mills. So basically everything gets dumped, I think I mentioned this before, everything gets dumped from the ender chest into this on the white. White, that's wrong, isn't it? What's white going into there for? White, oh yeah, white, yeah. Everything from the ender chest gets dumped into here, and everything that I want to filter from the ender chest, so all the ores and stuff is going to come into this, get spread out from there. From here they get sent straight into this chest, which spreads them out in the smelters, and then the smelters send them straight back into the AE system. And I've also got a little bit in the AE room to do that. This is a new room that you've not seen before, that I've done off camera. So this is my alloy smelting room, and the IO alloying room. So what I've done in here is, again, I'm trying to do a mix between Ender IO and AE, because I kind of like the way it looks when it blends together. It's like an industrial looking thing. So you can see I've got a AE coming in both ends of this corridor. And what I've got is, I've got one of these alloy smelters set to alloy mode. Oh, that's wrong. Alloys only. Silly. I'll smell it, and these should also be set to alloys only. I'm sure I'd set them. This shouldn't matter because I decided to make a dedicated one for each alloy anyway. Oops. Alloys only. I must have just done this side. There we go. They're all okay. And that's a sag mill. So what I've done is I've set it up. In fact, we'll start with a chest. So what I've got is I've got import buses, so export buses I mean, exporting from the ME network. And I've had to upgrade these with capacity cards, so that one can have 9 items in it. You need basic export bus has 1 item slot, 1 capacity card makes it into 5 item slots, and the second capacity card makes it into 9. And I put a couple of acceleration cards on there just to get things in quicker. And that one I've just got 1 capacity card because I only needed 2 slots and 2 acceleration cards. What that does is that keeps this strongbox stocked with those materials, and I've just blocked the rest of the strongbox off the buttons there because I didn't want more than 1 stack each of these coming in. So I've kind of regulated this strongbox. I did at one point, I've speed upgrades in this, but it was pulling full stacks out of this and I'm making a mess of it. So I've purposely got no speed grades in this, but it doesn't need any because these are particularly quick anyway. What I've got, these are all the materials that we need for all these different alloys. So for example, the vibrant alloy needs energetic alloy and ender pearls. The pulsating iron needs iron and ender pearls. The electrical steel needs iron, pulverized coal and silicon. And the dark steel needs iron, silicon and obsidian, but they're all there. All this does then is this sends to these and fills up each one. I've got a filter set in each one. It's an expensive way of doing this. I could have done this more efficiently, but I'm kind of doing it for aesthetic as well. So each one of these has got a filter in, so it only allows the things that I want to come into it. So that one, of course, is for electrical steel. And what I've got is I've got a level limiter on the back. It's just set to 64 of each. Because I've been messing around with it and turning things on and off, I've actually got a bit more than 64 of each. But what will happen is this will regulate the amount of electrical steel I've got to 64. I can always put that up to more if I want to have more stock. Because each of these has actually got its own storage cell that can hold 32,000. So I could get carried away and have 32,000 of these. I decided to put a storage monitor on. Just because, again, just for looks. It takes more channels. If I start getting tight on channels, even with 9 times 32, I might start getting tight on channel. No, 12 times 32 I've got an eye. Then I might pull these off because each one of these takes a channel. But as you can see there, it's just a visual indicator of what's in each smeltery. So electrical steel, energized, vibrant, redstone for making the redstone conduit, pulsating iron, making the item conduit, dark steel, solarium, and this one is the manufacturer of the coal dust. Now this has gone to Thermalix foundation stuff rather than the Ender IO stuff. It looks like that's what's been produced in the... Something changed when one of the pack updates happened. The ingots went from thermal expansion ingots to IT2 ones, and the coal went from Ender IO. The coal dust went from Ender IO to thermal expansion. So I've had to unify all that by using a barrel. But this is all just stopped because that's set. I've set that one a bit higher. That's set to, what's that set to? 1024. So that's what was already in the system. So I've got everything set in there. What I actually want to do is with the dark steel is this, if you craft it into these dark steel balls which you can then use in your sag mill. So once I've got my first molecular assembler up on the AE auto crafting, we'll be producing a lot of this stuff and making it into the dark steel balls, because I want them feeding into all these. So that's going to take a lot of dark steel, and I thought I might as well use it for something, you know. So rather than putting flint into here, I'm going to use dark steel in all these, because I might as well, you know. Now that's that room done. So any questions you have about anything I've set up there, please let me know in the comments. I think I've explained it well enough what I've done there. So next room, this is my thermal expansion room. I've not actually wired this room up yet, but this is going to be the liquid material like Enderium, gelid cryotheum, redstone. That's going to be stuff like electrum and stuff in there. And that's that nitre production. Again, none of that's wired up. This room I have wired up. This is my block production room. That there is that's got the Steve's factory manager underneath, just making the quadruple compressed cobble, and that needs a bucket of lava in it. Made a little water plant here, kind of half-assed, making it look like an industrial thing. That's just an aqueous accumulator putting water into. I've got it into an ender tank, so I can put other ender tanks around the factory, and it's also feeding from that into my little block production thing here. We're out of lava in a minute, which we're going to get to, and this is a similar kind of setup. I've got a setup in here that's just set to 1,000 obsidian, and I've set it to 10,000 each of these. So smooth stone, cobble, sand and glass. That's going to keep my system stocked with 10,000 each of them, at least 10,000. I actually had more because if you remember, I had 256 barrel. I had barrels upgraded to 256 stacks, so I've actually got more than 10,000 of some of them anyway. Right, and then that room is now just empty. That's where the block stuff was. You can hear the ghast because I have got a ghast in there. Well, I've got a gas spawn in there. I had to take the roof off because the gas wouldn't spawn in the room as it was. But this is all going to get redone anyway when I move the spawners upstairs. But there we go. Gas spawner. Yeah. And because this isn't connected to the actual network, I've just got stuff going into a barrel here. As you can see, I've got a lot of gas tiers and gunpowder from the gas. And my enderpearl farm is also feeding into this chest as well. The rest of the stuff in there is all turned off, and that'll all be coming out. So I've got a lot of gas tiers, lovely. I needed the gas tiers for one of the blood magic things. So that is pretty much what I've done, yeah. On this side, on the tech side. So that's quite a bit of off-camera stuff, and I'm failing at flying. Someone complained that I made all these lifts and I'm not using them. Yeah, my base is actually designed so I can fly about it. And that's a conscious design decision. I made it so I can fly about. But you can also use lifts if you didn't have flight, so I could leave my wings at home and I could get around everywhere still. So I won't be using the lifts all the time, but they are there, you know, and that should go back down on its own. This is where I'm going to have my molecular assemblers. I think I'm going to have a big row of them down here. Each one needs one ME conduit power input, and then it can have 5, is it interfaces? Is it export buses or import buses? I think it's export buses you have on a minute. So I should be able to fit quite a few of them in here. So the molecular assembler things are going to all be in here. We've not got to that yet. It's part of the ME auto crafting. If you've not seen it before, you make a molecular assembler. That's just a single block, and then that's what your auto crafting gets done in. It's not a multi-block structure like AE1 was. There we go. That guy's gone back down. Cool. And I don't think I've done anything else up here. Make sure that's turned off. I don't know why. Shit, that is turned on. I've got that turned on, drawing power for no reason. Since yesterday sometime. Son of a whore. Oh, I've added this little bit here while I'm in here. This is a charger. It turns Certus quartz into charged Certus quartz. So Certus quartz there into charged. And all I've got here is set a little filter on there saying put Certus quartz into the charger, and there's a filter on the export one there saying pull charged Certus quartz out. So if I want any charged Certus quartz at the minute, I'll just dump it into this strong box and that'll charge it up for me. I will be putting onto here and here at some point. I shall be putting ME interfaces on so I can actually do that from down in the control room. Yeah, that's nothing in there, nothing in there, nothing in there. and nothing in there. All I've done in here is I've added volume upgrades to this and this. So that's my pneumatic craft is all sorted. Everything's fully upgraded. Right then, it's another talk episode by the look of it, isn't it? In here I have been really anal, and I've named all my single-use cells. So these can all hold 32,000. So if I start getting more than 32,000, I might have to start upping these to 16k ones. These are all 4k drives, each with its own thing. And you can see I've got all the Ender IO stuff there. I've got aluminium and compressed iron. And that one, even though I shouldn't have any compressed iron now, I've used it all. Floral powders. Them are the Project Red Gems. I've not named that one yet. That's what's in them. And I've got all my stuff, like my gem stuff down this side. So I wanted the idea was the fact that I've got all these mini drives. I might as well put one of each thing in. There's some blocks. That's where the blocks go in. So you see there. So like cobblestone, I've got half of that used, so there'll be about 16,000 cobblestone in there, I guess. So let's have a look how much cobble we've got. Yeah, there we go. 17,500. I think it takes like 32 to 34,000 a 4k cell. So, and then this is all the quartz stuff for Ender IO, and then them are just my 5 64k ones. But that one's pretty much empty. Now what I've got over here, I've got a little workbench area over here. I've got my knife in there out of the way, but if this is my 64k one that's not partitioned into anything. So if I put that ingots one in, you can actually see what's in it. You see these are the ingots that have not got their own. These haven't got their own thing yet. I'll probably make one for Invar, but they don't have their own dedicated cell. I've got a shared ingots one, and that's all the stuff that's not got its own dedicated cell yet. That some of it will be getting, like sulfur for example, and niter. They'll be getting cells and stuff like that. So that's what I've been doing there. So ME port for getting things in out. So I've got a little work area there for sorting cells out. I have extended this. So someone kindly told me, and I should have done a name check before I started recording, but thank you very much for the message, that each one of these little setups, what the core processing unit does is, if I was crafting something like, I was using the example that the person used in the comment, like a wooden axe, then I'd have, if I just asked for wooden axes, then there'd be 3 things going on. One, there'd be logs getting made into planks, there'd be planks getting made into sticks, and then there'd be sticks and the planks getting put together. But what the core processing units can do is they can handle the making of the sticks and the planks while the actual unit makes the axes. So core processing units do subtasks set to a crafting task. Yeah? I hope that makes sense. So what I've done is I've made 2 more of them. So they've each got 64k crafting storage, they've each got 2 core processing units, and they've each got crafting monitor. So I have got 3 crafting things at the minute, and we'll see what that goes. And these connect to the molecular things when I've got them, or the user processing things like we've got up there. So that's what's going on there, just so you know. And that's pretty much all I've done in here. What I have got in here is, I've just got that to keep, so I can keep track of what I'm doing with the Ender IO conduits up in the tech areas. And I've got a little chest here. I've put filters on for now, just because I don't want to throw things in there. They're all empty, by the way. They're the 4K cells that I've not dedicated anything to yet. What I can do there is, if I chuck some nether quartz, because I'm just using the filter for now, but at some point I'll take the filters out. I can just chuck stuff in there, and that'll go straight to the sag mills and get ground up. So if I wanted some more Certus quartz dust, I can just chuck some Certus quartz in there, and it'll come back into the ME network as Certus quartz dust. Same there with the smelters. So if I wanted to, what have I been cooking up? I've cooked a bit of sandy coal compound to make some state cells. So I chuck that in there, that gets sent to the smelters and it comes back into the network. So if I'm stood here and I need to cook something, I can just chuck it in the smelter instead of having to go up there. That's all that is. And someone whose videos I've started watching, a guy called Dizzy Aaron, he's got a series on this. I've watched a couple of his videos from a comment that one of my viewers made on his video that linked my name anyway. And he said that these should have been blue to go with the diamond of the beacon. So instead of changing all these, I decided to change the beacon. So I'm using the redstone alloy blocks there, because you can use them as beacon blocks. That's the Ender IO, what you make the redstone conduit with. And then this is where I've decided to bring, this is where the quarry will come in. White is going to go to the smelters, to the sag mills I mean, and green will come in straight into the network. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a storage bus on the bottom of the trash can and just trash, so I'm going to bring everything else into the ME network apart from ores. So ores will be whitelisted in there and ores will be blacklisted in there. Everything else will go into the ME network, and then I'm going to have a storage bus on there that'll trash things that I don't want. Actually, I'm thinking of making a Thaumcraft crystallizer for all the stuff I don't want, so I might not even need that trash can. So that, still talking, still not doing anything. I made a quick a quick one charge pedestal just for charging my wand. Quite simple, straightforward. Bit of artifice, no, bit of thaumaturgy. So arcane infusion, nice and simple, primal charm. So what I can do there is I can put my wand on there and it'll charge itself off these nodes. One thing with this helmet is I've not got goggles revealing, so I can't see any of the aspects anywhere or anything. So that's all I've done with Thaumcraft. So into here, some very cool suggestions. One thing that someone said, Rehab said to me, that can't you just ME straight into this? I think you're meant to be able to, and according to Wade's changelog, it's eye-sided, so it should accept things. But I did a little test. To be honest, I didn't test very long, but I did a little test in my test world to try and ME export and import things in and out of it. It wasn't really working, so I decided to go with this. And I like to use the rituals anyway, just for the sake of it. So I possibly could have just done that easier, but I like the ritual, so bollocks. One thing, I thought I'd do it anyway. One thing, ME interfaces, if you put them into your crafting square, you can make them into a multi-part version, so I don't have to have a full block ME interface, so that's what they are. That's my ME interfaces there. And what I've done is, because this has got 2 input sides, I've actually got another one here. So I've got some more stuff. So I can actually have, I say I can have 18, but in theory, I could have 3 ME interfaces on each chest. I could have one on the side and one on the bottom. So I could have a hell of a lot of potential in this. Now I have been messing around. I've actually just cleared that, but I've been messing around at getting. It's doable. You can have it so that with Steve's Factory Manager, this is just a red string container. I bet I should explain what that is. That's from Britannia. Red string container. Red. What? Why are you not there? Because I did 2 spaces, idiot. Red string container, there we go. It's nice and simple. Just living rock, and this red string is just, I don't know why there's 2 recipes. I didn't do the pumpkin one, I said that one, and it still got me a bit of red string. And that's got a mana pearl through your portal. What that does is that's as if it's touching that block. If I had my Wonder of the Forest out, you can actually see there's a bit of magic red string connecting that to that. Just because if I did it another way, if I did it without the red string thing, I had the inventory manager right on top of the altar and you couldn't actually see what was in it. So I just wanted to be able to see what was in there still. So I've just moved that up a bit and I put that there, so that's connecting. So we can use that as an inventory. So inventory, red string container, target that. That is not actually looking at the red string container at all, it's actually looking at the top of that block. What that does, it's pretty much like a transvector interface, if you know what that is from Family Tinkerer. But, so even though the inventory manager thinks it's touching, it's actually touching that, it thinks it's touching that. So what I can do here is a little setup that says, if certain materials are in this strongbox, so pretty much if there's blaze powder, netherrack, simple catalyst and lava bucket in there, then pull incendium from the strongbox and put it in the altar, and it checks it every 10 seconds, and if there's no raw materials in there, it sends whatever's in there back. So the false condition is send that back. In fact, I'll cut camera, I'll write a bit of this and I'll show you it really quick. Okay then, a couple of minutes have passed and I've done a little bit of writing in here. So basically what we've got is we've got a trigger set to 10 seconds, because I don't want it too quick, because you need to have enough time for the final craft to happen, otherwise stuff gets stuck in there. If you had that on every second, then as soon as this strongbox got empty, it'd pull the target out of there and whatever's in here wouldn't finish. So I've set that to 10 seconds. I've got a condition here that says, if the strongbox, that one down there, contains the raw materials, oops, clicked on the wrong thing. Contains the raw materials that equal incendium. So lava bucket, blaze powered netherrack, and simple catalyst, because they've all got different ingredients, of course. If that's true, then take incendium from the strongbox that's behind the thing there. So the whitelist there is incendium. So that's basically saying, oops, take incendium from that strongbox and put it into the registering container, which is actually the altar. And then if it's false, take from the registering container and put it back into that inventory. Now what I'll have to do is for each of these, I'll have to have a separate condition. So what it's nested conditions, and what you'd actually call it, if you could do it better, would be a switch. But I don't think I can do a switch with this. If I can do a switch with this, if you know I can. But basically what a switch is, it'd check all the different conditions. What I have to do is I have to nest it so that I have to check for incendium, then check for the next one, then check for the next one, then check for the next one, then check for the next one. And if there's none of the ingredients for all the ones that it checks, then it finally pull out the thing. So it'll run through and check if there's the raw materials for... I keep clicking on wrong things. It'll check if there's that, then that, then that, then that, then that. And if there's none of any of the raw materials for any of them in the strong box, then it'll empty it. What we can do now then is if we set this to craft, and I've got enough lava buckets to craft 7 of these. Craftable 7. And now by the way, look at that, we've got 3 different crafting CPUs. They're all the same, of course. We've got 3 different crafting CPUs we can select. Let's leave it on automatic. So if we start crafting that, what you'll see is after 10 seconds it's going to check. Is it going to work? There it is. So that was after, it's a 10-second, not a 10-second delay, but it just does it every 10 seconds. So it checked if there was any raw materials in there, and it found that there was the right raw materials for incendium. So it pulled the incendium out, put it in there. That'll do its business. If I keep this, which I probably will, I'm going to make this bit invisible, so you'll just see that bit, and I'll maybe have that higher up, because that can be as many blocks away as you want from that, as long as it's pointing at it. So I'll probably have the manager in the roof with the registering containers pointing down, and I'll have this camouflage so it's invisible. And of course I'll do it on this side as well, of course. There we go. So that's done them 7. And it's taken it away again, so it's put the incendium back in there. So that makes it fully automated. So there we go. As you can see, I have been creating some of this stuff, and we're at the stage where we can pretty much make the demon invasion, because I've got all the bits just about. What we do need is some aquasalis. Aquasalis 64. And for that, we're actually going to have to put this in manually because I've not done the aquasalis condition, of course. So I'll grab some aquasalis and put the target thing in there. And that wasn't able to craft, was it? Did I click the wrong? Did I not finish it off? Aquasalis 64. Everything's available. I have made a lot of water bottles manually just for this demonstration, if you will. But that's going to start. Right, I need to turn that off, don't I? Because it's pulling the thing back out. Until I do it all, it's going to pull whatever's in there back out. So okay, it's a little bit convoluted having to set it up, but it's fun, isn't it? There we go. That's going to make us 64 aquasalis. What I've been doing is I've been putting stuff into these bell jars. So I made a load of bell jars. And what we can do now, if we grab this incendium that I've got in here, I've got 21 up to now, and just drop that into the hopper behind the calcinator there. That'll start cooking up. And what you've got to do with this is use this alchemic router. First of all, once you've done one, you need to clear it. So if this was still connected to, say, putting that stuff in there, which is Sanctus, then you have to clear the path by clicking with this cleanser on that. So that's cleared and that's cleared. And now what I want to do is I want to right click that to select incendium. Oh, sorry, shift right click to collect incendium. Select. then right click it, and then right click that. So now that's sending incendium to there, and then from there, so I need to shift click off that. Now because it's already incendium, I don't need to shift click that, but I could shift click that, don't make a difference. What I can do now is if I right click that, and then I can click 1, 2, 3, 4, and that will send incendium to all 4 of them. It should do it in the order that I clicked him. Why is it not? Come on, bro. Looks like I've cleared that. I didn't clear that, did I? There we go. It just took a while. So you can see there, it's sending incendium to there and then to there. So that should have gone up, and it has, look. So if you look in there now, that's got 15,000. It's just going really slow for some reason. But once it fills one, there you go, that's 16,000 now. Then the next one will start for the next one. So you can connect that relay to multiple bell jars. So if I'd have put a full stack of 64 in there, it'd have filled up, and that's set up like this, it'd fill all 64 up. I'll do that with that. What's that giving me is I've got 4 of each of these type of reagent. Now to make the demon invasion, I actually only need 1 of each of these. So I'm ready to go with the demon invasion, to be honest. I think I'm going to put it on a Laputa island. So I need to get that bit made. One other thing I've done with alchemy is, you notice there's a Sanctus one missing there. I've actually taken a Sanctus one and look at my buckets again. This isn't fully automated yet, but it will be. What I've got in here is I've got a Serenade of the Nether, which, if you recall, puts lava on top of the block. Now, I should actually pull this apart. Let me just pull this apart a minute. I hope I don't get lava bend. Oh, I did. You bastard. I thought that might happen. What I should have done is I should have brought that bloody block first and made it so that it wasn't a active ritual anymore. Oh, what a douche. So I just lost a fluid tank and 16 buckets of lava. Not a big deal, but you know. Didn't need to happen, did it? That did not need to happen. So, basic Serenade of the Nether, as I'm sure you have, if you've seen before, you know what I'm on about. So, there, 4 fire things around your master, and then if you turn that on, then it has a lava block there, like I've got for all the Britannia plants. What I've done here is, let's clear that off. So, see in there, it's got, in fact, I'm looking at it now, you can see just above my bar there, that's holding 3,000 Sanctus. So pretty much what I've done is I have shift clicked that away, I've shift clicked that so that the root is holding Sanctus, I've right clicked that, and then I've right clicked that so it's linked it. So it's got that error message there because it's already linked. Basically what's that doing, that's sending Sanctus into the master ritual stone, which means I can have a tank on top of there. So that is my lava tank, which is going to make an obsidian, for example. So now, if I activate the Master Ritual Stone, boop, because we are feeding Sanctus into this, it can be fed into a tank rather than having a block of lava there. But that's a nice little use. That's one of the nicest ones, I think. You can actually make it so that you can pump straight into a tank. That's the addition of Sanctus is making that happen. So I think it's really cool. So I've just been bucketing a bit of lava out there for now manually, but I can of course do that. I can get that connected to my system so I can get buckets put in. I was actually going to use that fluid tank because fluid tank you can feed empty buckets in and get full buckets out. But I've cocked that up now by killing the fluid tank. I should have to get another one. Right, I'm going to cut the camera. I'm going to get this Aquasalis bottled up. There you go. You can see if we get the router in our hand, you'll be able to see that. That one's filled up with 16,000 Sanctus. That one's got 11,000, and that was probably all I had. So because I only had 14, I think there was 6 in there. So yeah, 21. Is that right? 16. No, 10, 20, 27 I had. So yeah, anyway, I'll get them filled up. I'll get the last one done, Aquasalis, which is what we're making there, and I'll see what's next. So the Aquasalis is done. Just to quickly show you this again, just in case you want another example of it. So I've dropped the Aquasalis in there. It's feeding it into the calcinator. Oops, I just took a bit back out by right clicking it. There we go. It's feeding into there, but it's not set up to do Aquasalis, is it? It's set up to do Incendium still. So if we clear that off there, then the routing system has now been cleared. Shift right click on there will set the router to Aquasalis. Right click and to right click. No, I've not cleared that. There we go. Sorry, I should have shift right clicked in the air to clear the router first, because I was trying to connect to that one over there. Right click is now transmitting Aquasalis to the relay, as you can see. So now clear it again, and then right click, and then right click 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now it's connected that relay to all 4 of them. So that's going to fill up with 64 Aquasalis, which is 4 jars full. Well then, the episode has got away from me. It's got long. It's 33 or 34 minutes, 36 minutes. So what I am actually going to have to do is wrap up right about here. What's going on here? Now, what I'm looking for? I am looking for the Convocation of the Damned, I believe. Is that the one? 100 and so stones. 30, 40, 50, 60, 78, 96. There we go. I believe that is the ritual we need to do for the demon invasion. I will double check that. But I've done this. I've set it up. I just wanted to show you. So that's the mess that I've made in there. So basically, it's just everyone. It looks for Incendium. It looks for the ingredients for Incendium, and if it finds it, it puts the ingredients. It puts the Incendium into the altar. If it doesn't find Incendium, it's trying to look for Magicalis, then looks for Sanctus, looks for Aphis, looks for raw materials for all these. If it finds the raw materials for any of them, it puts the thing into the altar, and eventually, if it finds the raw materials for none of them, it puts the whatever is in the altar back into the chest. Now there we go. That should work. So now I've not tried this, so it might not work. But if I try and get Sanctus, say, let's go with Sanctus. I want 16 of them. Got all the bits. Yep. Craft it. So I've kept that catalyst one on its own, of course. So the raw materials should be in there. Within 10 seconds, it should check, and it should put Sanctus in there for me. And it has. Excellent. It's worked. So there we go. We have got fully automated. And I think I might just leave that like that. I don't mind how it looks. Yeah. Because it'll mean redoing all the inventories if I break it and change it, so I don't really want to. So there we go, we have got fully automated. So there, I have actually achieved something in this episode. How's that? I hope you join me next time. What we're going to do is we're going to make things called Laputa shards. These guys, and that's how you make the first one. And then you continuously power it up with Gaia Spirits. So I may be fighting some Gaia Spirits off camera, because we're going to get this all the way up to a Shard of Power 20. So I believe that's 20 upgrades. I don't know if it's... maybe each one powers up 5 times, so I maybe only need a few Gaia Spirits. I might have enough for that. And we'll get that, and we'll create an area to do the demon invasion on. And I want to make sure it's out of chunk range. It's out of player loading range of my base, because the demon invasion is still a work in progress, and it could destroy everything. It could destroy my world. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and sorry it was a bit talky. I didn't get a great deal done, and I hope you join me next time for a demon invasion. Woo! Bye! Okay, I'm back just for a second. I did have a little issue, and I thought I'd best clear it up before I finish the episode. Now, these, in their standard state, because you have to have this set to output, it was forcing things into the conduits. So with these come standard with these in the automated output servo mechanisms there, and even with the redstone signal off the level emitter there. So I've got more than 1,000 obsidian, so the redstone signal's on. This is set to extract only without signal, so it shouldn't be extracting when the signal's on. But because that had powered output, it was putting them out anyway. So what I've had to do is just quickly I've had to whip these out of these. So now you see, because the redstone signal's on, then the things stay in there and they don't get drawn out. There you go. Cheers. Bye.